Good evening from London. Shell has recorded its second highest earnings on record as the energy giant continues to thrive due to surging gas prices. The FTSE 100 group reported profits of £8.2 billion in the 3 months to September, more than double what was reported during the same period last year. Shell's outgoing chief executive, Ben van Beurden, said the company was delivering robust results at a time of ongoing volatility in global energy markets. With more trading news, shares in the world's largest social media group dropped by 19.3% during out-of-hours trading in New York, as profits more than halved in the third quarter. Meta Platforms, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, reported that total revenue fell by 4% in the period to $27.7 billion, with net income falling 52% to $4.4 billion. The group's chairman and chief executive, Mark Zuckerberg, warned of a further slowdown in sales as advertisers cut spending in preparation for a global economic downturn. Government ministers in Africa have discussed the potential of using nuclear power in supporting sustainable development and the transition to clean and reliable energy, as the continent's energy demand is increasing twice as fast as the global average. Earlier, I spoke with Huang Wei, a director from the International Atomic Energy Agency, for more on this story.
Africa is the continent which actually contribute less carbon dioxide emission. Only less than 4% of global emission, comparing to the population. They have 60% of the global population. So that means they suffer more consequence of the climate change impact. So for African continent, now they are looking at how they can have their inclusive, just transition in the coming decades in the global climate change debate. So for nuclear, we see there is a role for that effort, because if you look at what's happening in Africa, Egypt now just kick off their first nuclear project in July this year. This is actually the second nuclear program in the African continent, and also the first nuclear program in the past 40 years in this continent, because currently only one country in the African continent has a nuclear power plant, which is South Africa. They are also talking about how to extend their lifetime in order to ensure nuclear can continue to contribute their carbon dioxide emission. And in this continent, more countries are showing the using nuclear in their decarbonization process, including your country, Nigeria, and also some other countries, Niger, Uganda, Ghana, and Sudan. They also show their interest in this nuclear power sources. So we developed our milestone approach, which is a kind of a methodology to cover a broad spectrum of 19 issues, which countries need to take into account when they start their nuclear program. So in order to apply that methodology, we carried out 34 INEA missions, which actually apply this methodology to those countries to help them to look at all these issues related to their nuclear program. So in the past 13 years, agency conducts 34 INEA missions, as I mentioned, in the 22 countries. And those countries now looking at issues to prepare themselves for their either first nuclear program or expanding their nuclear program, like South Africa. So we are continuing to provide our service to ensure their work will be done in this safe and secure and sustainable manner.
Those are your main stories from London at close of business.